So I was going to start the class with Rocky Top. But I decided not to. Oh, shoot. I forgot. I took my. Oh, yeah, I'm still hooked up. Awesome. Sometimes when I get off airplane mode, it drops me out of the speaker, but I'm still connected. Anyway, yes, Rocky Top. We're going to talk a little football today. We beat Bama! So my parents were season ticket holders for UT. And so they always went to the games. So our blood ran with orange, okay? And occasionally they would take us girls, there were 4 of us, that's expensive. But occasionally, every few years, they would take all 4 of us off to a game. And once I left home, I wasn't into football anymore until I had my son. When I had my son, he was probably 4 or 5 years old, and there was an Alabama-Tennessee game on. And I was like, let's watch football, because my dad had just given him one of those kiddie plastic like footballs, and it was a UT football. So we were watching the game, and during the commercials, we would, pretend in the living room. And he became a Tennessee fan. Now, I've been divorced since he was 2. His dad is a big Georgia fan. He likes Georgia dogs, he likes Georgia Falcons, he likes Atlanta Braves, he likes all that, right? So I want to brag on my son for a moment because he stayed loyal to Tennessee. And that's been hard, right? The last decade, we have sucked. We have gone through probably 4 coaches, and it's not been great. And he has stayed loyal to Tennessee, even though he'll still follow Georgia, And anyway, he got a little irritated with me last week, because all last week I was like, we're gonna win, we're gonna beat Bama this year. He's like, quit jinxing it, you're gonna curse the game, stop it. And I had this feeling come over me when we sat to watch the game and we heard the crowd and we saw that sea of orange. I was like, we got this. And he was like, no, Mom, stop saying it. And of course, and then the game starts and we're ahead. I'm like, we're gonna get this. It's like, stop saying it. and then of course, Bama came back like they always do, because they're roll tide. And what does a tide do? It rolls in, and that's what Alabama's known for. They will come back in the second half. They will engulf their opponents and wipe them out, right? And they were close to doing that to us until the last 15 seconds. In the last 15 seconds, our boys pulled it through. But that wasn't the only reason I thought we were going to win the game. I thought we were going to win the game because the refs were being fair. And anybody that watches SEC football knows that they always cater to Alabama. They were fair. They called penalties on us, penalties on them, and then Alabama got 17 penalties. Okay, I gotta quit talking about the game and get to the point. I'm wearing this garb to celebrate, but also to bring in this idea of me being so proud of my son for being loyal to his team. Because he's only 15 years old. And all these years, his dad was really trying to get him to become a Georgia fan. And he played that role, and he would play that, support for Georgia, like he stuck with Tennessee. And we got to have a moment of glory together. So my point in bringing this back to yoga, Paramahansa Yogananda, and I come from a Yogananda lineage. Yogananda said loyalty should be the highest law. Loyalty should be the highest law. And loyalty doesn't necessarily come up in yoga, but I have been in this practice for 20 years. I have seen students come in, I've seen students go away, I've seen students come back, I've seen them go away, I've seen some come and never come back. And what I've seen are the ones that don't come back, or the ones that will occasionally come back. They're following the other trends, right? Maybe they're just coming for the workout piece. And then, they hear about Inferno Pilates, so now they're doing that. They hear about boxing. They're going to go do that. I hear about CrossFit. I'm going to go do that. This tribe thing. I'm going to go do that. Orange Theory. I'm going to go do that. And they get scattered with all these other practices. And then they eventually come back to yoga because they're stressed out. Because none of those things help them to deal with stress or life issues. Or all of a sudden they're finding themselves in hardships and in challenges and difficulties. And they come back to the yoga because they realize yoga has something else to it. So my plea for you today is to stay loyal to your yoga. Stay disciplined in your practice, because the discipline is actually a yogic principle. It's called tapas. Tapas means to discipline, to train, right? And that's what this is. Really, this is a training for life. So just like Tennessee had to train and train and train and get rid of it, one coach and get another coach, and a lot of players left, and then they had to recruit new players, and they're booming right now because they have the right amount of chemistry. There's going to be a time where you're going to find those light bulb moments. You're going to find that deep release that you need. You're going to find the most inspiration that gets you up and going again if you stick to your yoga. So stay loyal to your yoga. Stay disciplined in your yoga. Discipline is a form of loyalty. But there's another piece of yogic philosophy that can also tie in with loyalty, and that's devotion. So devotion isn't something we talk about a whole lot in the hatha yoga practice, but it is something called bhakti yoga. And bhakti yoga is, what are you devoted to? What are you giving your love to? What are you giving your loyalty? Where does your loyalty lie? So I want you to consider, where does your loyalty lie? Is it with your team? Is it with your partner? Is it with your tribe of people, your circle of trust? Is it with your neighborhood? Is it with your company that you work for or worked for in the past? So consider that as we go into our bodies and go deeper into our hearts. So we're going to start on our backs. And we're going to let, oh, did everybody get a strap? Always look up here to see what props I have, and I'm happy to bring you one so you don't have to get up. Who else? I'll just pass the basket around. You're welcome. Anybody else? Anybody else? Thank you. It's I've never seen that light blue one. Here, take this one. I want to know what that blue light. All right, once you lie down on your back, I want you to fan the feet out. And I want you to just see, how does it feel for your shoulders if you were to take your arms up and down, like you're creating like a starfish type shape. In yin yoga, they call this pentacle pose. So when you expand out, it's okay if you cross over your mat onto the coolness of the wood floor. But if this causes any grief to your shoulders whatsoever, and if the back of your hands don't quite touch down, you're welcome to fan the arms out into a T. Now notice with your arms elevated at shoulder height or higher, it allows us to feel a little lift in the chest. It can even brighten your mood. Close and rest your eyes. And take some deep breaths in and out through the nose. Let your lungs fill up as you breathe in. Let them empty as you breathe out. Remember, meditation is not just emptying the mind. Meditation can also be self-reflection. It can be contemplative in nature. So ponder for a moment, where does your loyalty lie? Once you feel like you've developed a smoother and more rhythmic breath, we're going to glide the feet together. We're going to bring the arms back down and we're going to stack the hands up underneath our seat. So that you're literally sitting on your palms. Now we're going to do a single leg lift. We're going to start with the right leg. So point your right foot and slowly sail it up in the air. Flex through your ankle and now lead with that heel and lower towards the ground. Let it rest. Point your left foot. Inhale, sail your left leg only up towards the sky. Flex the ankle and exhale, lower it down to the ground. Alternating, right foot points and lifts on the in-breath, flexes and lowers on the out-breath. Swapping to the left, inhaling up and exhaling down. I love the pace that you're going. We're not kicking or flaring the legs. We're staying in control of this body mechanic. When you do it slowly and mindfully, continue, you're going to find that you're working the lower strip of the abdominals. You're strengthening the hip flexors. And you're activating the quads and hamstrings at different points. Try not to rush it. Just as we slow down the breath, you can also have some slowed up movement. Now, the next time you come to the left side, we're going to complete this exercise. We're going to move on to something else. So once your left heel descends, remove your hands from underneath your seat and then find your strap. Unroll the strap. Draw the right knee in towards your upper body. Take the strap around the ball of the right foot and send it towards the ceiling. Now power into the left leg that's on the floor. Engage those muscles. Hold the strap with your hands, but push the foot into the fabric. Find your edge of flexibility with your hamstrings. You may have a little bit more availability than you did with the single leg lifts. From holding Padangusthasana A, stay connected to your breath. And maybe for this hour, stay loyal to your breath. Bring the ends of the strap together now into your right hand. Bring your left hand to hold down your left hip and then sail that leg open to the right. Try to keep the belly neutral. In other words, you don't want it twisting to one side. The navel is still facing upward. Again, push the foot into the fabric. See if you can fire up the inner adductor muscles. And then inhale, lift the leg up. And then exhale, bend the knee, remove the strap from the foot. Slide your right leg out. Pull your left knee in. Swapping the strap to the left foot. Sending it up. Powering into the right leg, engaging the quads. You might already notice which leg is freer. which leg is tighter than the other. So don't try to force the tighter side to line up with the more open side. Push the foot up into the fabric. Keep the shoulder blades on the ground. Keep the breath rolling in and out through the nose. Take both ends of the strap now into your left hand. Use the right hand to hold down the right hip. Come to Padangusthasana B. Opening that leg away from your midline. You still want to keep the right toes directed up towards the ceiling. Push the foot into the fabric to fire up the inner thigh. On your next in-breath, let's go ahead and bring that leg back up overhead. And as you exhale, bend the knee. Plant that foot on the floor, send the strap to the side, and then bend your right knee. Now, we haven't done this in a really long time, at least in my class. Lace your hands together. Something called yogi sit-ups. Okay, I know, I don't like the word sit-up either. But the yogi comes in front of it and it makes it more doable. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna contract the core and lift the head and the shoulders up as much as we can. We're not trying to come all the way up to a sit-up. That's what makes it a yogi sit-up. And as you release back down, exhale, contract and lift. Inhale, core back down to the side. Try to keep the elbows nice and open. We're not pulling with the hands. We're using the rectus abdominis muscles. All the muscles circling back behind the navel. Last one. Good, and release. All right, now that you've released this, you're going to cross your left ankle over the right knee. From here, you're going to keep your left arm to the floor, but you're going to pick up your right elbow and you're going to send it over the midline in the direction of the left knee. But again, it's kind of like a yogi sit-up. We're not going very far. And then as we inhale, we release. Exhale, we lift and cross over to the left. And then inhale, release. Good, continue 3 more times. So again, you're not pulling your head. Good, now that you've reclined back down, remove the hands from behind your head. Pick up your right foot. Lace them behind your right thigh. Coming into this eye of the needle pose. Try to stay pretty even on your sacrum. You're in control of how much or little you give yourself here. And you're still gaining even if you're keeping the right foot on the floor. You don't always have to pull in. Please try to take beginner or advanced out of your vocabulary in this practice. We should all keep a beginner's mind. And we're all advanced at something here on the mat. Take one last deep breath. Gently draw in slightly more if possible. And then affirm. I rise above the past and the future to this precious moment of now. And release. All right, lower the left foot, crisscross your right ankle over the left knee. Release your hands behind your head. We're gonna work the side obliques. When you're ready, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, you're lifting only the left arm and you're crossing it over towards the right knee. And then as you inhale, you lower it back down. Exhale, lift and cross over. Inhale, recline back down. And just do this a few more times and sync with your breath. After this last one, you can be here, moving the hands from behind the head, or you can go deeper into the hip stretch if your body allows. Lacing the hands behind your left thigh, coming into eye of the needle pose. Soften your jaw, teeth, tongue, lips. Even the other sensory organs. Don't always start off with core work, and that's what we've started with today. And since we've been contracting our core, let's go ahead and release a hold of that left leg. Let's slide the legs out, fan them apart. Let's take the arms back to the sides or overhead in that starfish type shape. Spreading out. And allowing yourself, giving yourself permission to take up space. Let your in-breath fill up your belly. And let your exhale release. Now, when you're ready, you're going to keep your feet wide apart and your knees wide apart as you draw the knees in towards your side ribs. Let the feet face the ceiling. Take the arms up to find the shins or feet and come into happy baby pose. Staying stationed on our backs. Pulling with the arms. Dropping low through our seat, so it's not curling away from the ground. Now from here, I want you to let go of your feet so they're slightly angled forward but still flexed. And you're going to lift your arms up towards the ceiling, flexing your wrists, as though you're trying to push one of those ceiling panels away. Now contract your core, lift your head and heart up. Place your elbows to the inside of your knees and squeeze the knees to the arms. Continue to keep your wrist flexed. Look beyond your fingertips. This is our crow pose today. This is an arm balance typically. This is a gentle way to do it. One more deep breath. And then as you exhale, recline your head and hug the knees in. We're going to do one more supine stretch before we come up. So open your arms to the sides, again, out like a T, and let your knees roll to the left. Taking a supine twist. Now, once you land in the twist, your feet should be down. But if the knees and feet are down and it's aggravating your back, please know you can plug a block or bolster underneath the knees. Or sometimes it feels best to go in between the thighs if there's a gap. Feel free to turn your head to one shoulder or the other to bring the twist up to the neck. So we talked about the roll tide earlier. And I want you to think about how the tide does roll in and out with the ocean. And how in Chinese medicine, we call the Sea of Qi the space below the navel, all the way to the point above the sternum. I want you to focus on the rolling aspect of your breath and feel as though you're creating a tidal wave of breath to come up to wash over your heart and mind, purifying your mind, heart. Affirming as you hold. I'm opening myself up to a new flow of energy within. On your next in-breath, grip in your belly, let the knees roll through center, and then send them all the way to the right. A couple weeks ago, we focused on the lymphatic system. And we were mentioning that twists and diaphragmatic breaths are not just good for digestion, but they're also good for our lymph system. So breathe well here. If you turned your head to one shoulder on the previous side, now turn it to the other. About 3 more deep breaths. At the end of that third one, you can pick up that left arm. You can roll over to your right side body, and you can push through the left palm to gently come up. Now we're gonna sit for just a moment to do a side bend, and then we're gonna get up to stand. So as you inhale, lift your arms straight up alongside your ears, let the palms face each other. On the out breath, lower your left hand and curve over to that side of the body. And then inhale, draw it right back up, both arms lifting, and now lower the right hand and sway over in that direction. Good, inhale, build it right back up. Exhale, bring hands home to the heart. We're gonna get up to stand, and you're probably gonna want your blocks at the top of your mat. So if you don't have those set up already, and once the blocks are set, you're gonna align your legs and rock forward and back on your feet, broadening the base of the feet, and then stacking the legs, zipping up through your midriff, building up through your heart, and bringing your hands together to the salutation seal. As you inhale, let your arms reach out and up overhead. And on your out breath, bring the palms together. Feel free to soften your knees as you bow. Separating your hands as you lower your head. Shift your weight slightly forward, holding your Uttanasana. And then inhale, slide your hands up the shins, straighten out through your legs and your back. Look out with your eyes. And then exhale, you're gonna pour right back down. Affirming here, nothing and no one on this earth can hold me down or back. Inhale, root down through the legs, sweep the arms to your sides and up overhead. And then exhale, bring hands back home to the heart. We're gonna do a couple more half sun outs. Inhale, let your arms circle wide and up. Exhale, palms together. Feel free to soften the knees and bow over and down. Letting the upper body go, gravitating the heart a little lower towards your knees. On your next in breath, come halfway up. Ardha Uttanasana, stretch out, create that shape of an L, and then exhale, release. Inhale, bring it all the way back to the top. And exhale, hands to heart center. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Stay for a couple breaths here. Let the spine decompress. Let this refresh in the skin of the face. And reboot your mind. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Good, exhale, fold back in. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, heart center. All right, this one's going to be less structured. Your hands are going to rest with the back of your hands facing forward. Your wrists are going to be loose and limp. When you're ready, you're going to be very Tai Chi-like as you lift your left knee, right wrist, and then bend the standing leg as you tiptoe down and solidify that foot. And then inhale, opposite limbs, left wrist, right knee. This is called a cloud salutation. Slowly stepping, slowly lifting. It's almost like, remember we had VCR tapes? I could say that to you guys. But remember how you could put it like on slow motion? Kind of like that. Notice how grounded you get when you bend the knees and land the feet. But how light and effortless you feel when you're coming up with that Tai Chi aspect. This is also good for the joints. Keeping everything loose and limp. Almost like a puppet on strings. Okay, just one more to each side. And then we're going to get a little bit more solid. Okay, so once you land that last step, now root your feet. Get your legs engaged. Get your shoulders rolled back and stand tall and attentive, almost like you're standing with the military, right? And then you're going to shift your weight to your left side. Bring your hands to your waist. Take your right knee up and flex the right foot. This is a way to modify Padangusthasana A. And don't feel like your knee has to be at a certain height. It's okay if the foot is just barely even hovering above the floor. Basically, we're trying to be strong in our standing leg. We're trying to stabilize through our core and maintain some good posture. Good, step it down. Keep your hands to your waist. Once you lower to the right leg, land it down, pick up your left foot, flex the ankle, elevate the knee. Remember, it doesn't have to be anywhere in particular. Gaze at one spot. Good, exhale, step the foot down. Landing line down the left leg. This time, you're gonna send the right toes forward. And then you're gonna slowly pick up the leg, all right? Now see how your balance is here. If it's a little off, be here. If you're a little stronger in your balance today, bend the knee, lift it up like you did with A, and then see if you can flex the foot and push out to the ball of the foot. Maybe it'll elevate to a higher degree. Don't worry if you can't get there. Do your best. And release. All right, tiptoe the left foot forward. And all I want you to do is lift it up. You're in the pose. Please know you are in the pose. But if you want to explore more options, bend and lift the left knee. Push out to the ball of the left foot. Last breath. On the out breath, release. How was it? Pretty good? Okay, hands to prayer. I don't have anybody coming back with their knee surgery, so we're gonna flow. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fan the arms out and fold in. Bring the blocks alongside your feet and step the right foot back. So all these ladies I've had with knee surgery, they can't do this yet. They can't lean out over, the bum knee yet. So I'm glad we can do this today. We're gonna come to the fingertips. And notice when you come to the fingertips, you have to depend on that left leg more. Keep it strong, slowly lift the hands, fly them up overhead to your crescent lunge. Now lifting the head over the shoulders and the shoulders elevated over the pelvis. When you're ready, fan your arms out, spread your wings, sail over the front thigh, hover, hold, breathe. And then bring your hands down to the blocks. Good. Turn and plant your back foot to the floor. Inhale, we're coming up. This time, Virabhadrasana 1. Hands can face each other. Crown of the head lifting. Hips teeing up. One more breath. All right, when you're ready, you're folding, but keeping the back foot glued to the floor. Step the blocks forward. Elevate the back leg, flex the foot. And you can use your left hand if you want to check in to see if your hip points are pretty even. Your sacrum's even. Push the right heel towards the back wall, shine the heart towards the front wall. And then gently lower the right foot alongside your left. All right, when you're ready, bring the blocks back alongside the feet, step the left foot back. Be here for a moment. Stabilize the front knee by gluing down the mound of that front big toe. Come to the fingertips. Activate those hamstrings and glutes. When you're ready, fly the arms up, palms face each other. Gazing at one spot. Exhale, fan the arms out, hover over the front thigh. Continue to breathe. Good, land your hands to the blocks. Turn and plant your back foot. And when it's safe to come up, warrior 1. Once you come to Virabhadrasana 1, stacking each vertebra. We're gonna fold the hands down again. Grab the blocks, step them forward, elevate the back foot. And come up into this balancing pose. If you're feeling a stretch through your inner right thigh, it may be that you're tilting your left hip up and you may want to slightly angle it down. One more deep breath. Good, and lower the left foot alongside the right. Bring the blocks back alongside the feet, step the right foot back again. This time when you step the right foot back, we're gonna lose the blocks, so lower the palms to step into our plank position. From the plank position, we're gonna pause here and get our arms structured to hold up the architecture of this body. Thighs plucking up into the thigh bones. If you want more intricate work, try your quads and core to shift forward. Otherwise, rock forward with your feet. Lower down to chaturanga, all the way down to the mat. And you may have to send the blocks away for a moment. Because we're gonna spread out the arms. Rest on your chin or brow. And on the inhale, we're gonna lift all 4 limbs, head and heart up, locust. Good, exhale, release. Second locust, inhale, come up. Exhale, spill down. Third one, we're gonna hold. Inhale, fly up. Hold and breathe. Find a comfortable position for your neck. It may not be to look out, it may be to look down. So it just depends person to person. Personally, I like out, but you might like down. You're on your diaphragm muscle, so make sure you're breathing. And then affirm, I fly upwards on wings of joy. As you exhale, release. Slide your hands up underneath your shoulders, push up to all fours, and then slide back into child's pose. Breathe here. And if you want to alter your position for another variation of child's, feel free. Soften your jaw, teeth, tongue, and lips. And relax all the other sensory organs. Come into Pratyahara, withdrawing from the outer senses. Once you affirm, I now release and relax away from all outer involvements into my own inner haven of peace. Now release and relax away from all outer involvements into my own inner haven of peace. Slide your arms forward. Rock up to hands and knees. Exhale into downward facing dog. Once you roll back over your toes and you're creating this inversion, keep the eyes open. Press down into the hands and the feet and shine up through your seat. One last deep breath here. And on your out breath, we're going to come back to the knees. Once you come to the knees, we're going to shift down to a hip so we can send the legs and feet out in front. Once we're here, lift the arms up, active Dandasana. Now notice what your feet are doing. If their feet relax, fire up the feet. Firing up the feet will fire up the legs. Push down through your thigh bones. Pull up through your side waist. Up through the outer fingertips. It's effort here. This is the staff pose. On the out breath, you can hinge forward into Paschimottanasana. Please don't feel like holding the feet is a goal. It's not. It's one of those rewards that you could potentially gain. And it's okay if you never do. It's not fun. All right, when you're ready, you're coming up. You're flipping your hands open, grounding your legs, and you're going to hollow out the belly by pulling the navel back towards the spine. Okay, once you kind of puff back into your kidneys, we're going to roll it on back. Take your time rolling back, 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 back. And let your head come down last. Now, point your toes on both feet. Double leg lift. Pike the legs in the air. Flex the feet. Push up through the balls of the feet. Spread the toes. Coming into this variation of waterfall. Now I know this is gentle. So if you don't know this pose, don't do this pose, don't know this pose, and have neck issues, you're not going to go into it. You're just going to stay put right here. If you're capable and knowledgeable enough to do plow pose, let your hands come down beside your hips, push down through your hands and use your core to draw the legs up and over the face. Your hands can then catch your back and hold you here. We're just taking a few breaths in cloud. We're gonna do something fun on the way out, okay? So the fun thing on the way out, you're gonna take your hands down to the back. You're gonna squeeze into the belly, and you're gonna start your roll out. Rolling down one vertebra at a time. When the sacrum lands, you're gonna fly the arms up and the feet down to lift. It's so fun. Okay, do you guys need to see that? Okay, so we were here. We were rolling out. And when the legs lower, the arms lift. Still core work, but it's more fun core work. All right, exhale, fold. Hashimoto'asana. Breathe. All right, you want to try that one more time? Let's do it. Flip your palms open. Squeeze the belly in. Roll it back, roll it back, roll it back, roll it back. Point the toes, inhale and lift the legs up. Maybe you want to stay here. Maybe you want to swing the legs over, catch your hips with your hands for plank. And paddle feet don't have to touch the floor if they're angling over the fence. All right, let's roll back down. Once we land to the sacrum, we're gonna take the feet down and lift the arms up. All right. Stay here in active dandasana. And then lower the hands beside your hips, but try not to shrivel in your chest. You're keeping your chest open, your shoulders back. All right, we're gonna do fish pose. And I'm gonna show you the gentle version first. The gentle version is this. Feet planted. Arms slide beside the ribs. Tuck the shoulders under and give a lift to the center of your chest. All right, so there's not a lot of neck work here. Let's all do this one. Okay, let's just come down to the back. Bend the knees, flatten your feet. Lift the arms straight up. And then slide the arms down beside your body. Now push down through your arms and let your shoulders tuck. Let your chest lift. There should be barely any work in the neck here. All right, so we've done some core work. This is where I say we develop discipline. We've been doing some heart opening poses. And this is for devotion that stems from the heart. And putting the discipline and devotion together to create a line of loyalty to yourself, to your breath, to this practice, to your partner, to whatever you align with. And then exhale, slide your arms out and relax your back. Tuck the knees in, hug them in, Apanasana. Now I am going to give you an opportunity to either do that gentle form one more time, or to join me in the other form of fish. Okay, so let's go ahead and slide the legs out. And I want to show you this. The most common mistake I see is the elbows splayed out. You can't really get into fish that way. So the arms have to slide down, even if the hands go to your thighs. All of our arm bones are going to be different lengths. See where your hands can go down the lowest, where your elbows are tucked in and your shoulders are already slightly tucked. That's going to give you a leading edge for getting into this pose. Again, if you want to do it the other way, do it the other way. Now, bring the feet together, point your toes. Right, we've been working with that element as well. Now, push down through your elbows, lift your whole torso off the floor. And this is the other mistake I see. I see people lift and then they drop the head back and their chest isn't open. So you want to paw the chest open and then let the head gently fall back. Good fish. That's it, Tanya. Just drop the head back. Yep. And then puff your chest. There you go. You're in it. That looks good, Morgan. Sweet. All right, when you're ready to exit, lower the head back down, slide your hands back out, draw the knees back in. Tapanasana, wind release pose. Now from wind release pose, just take your hands to the top of your knees and start to circle them in one direction. Circling around and around. And circle it the opposite direction. And hug and hold the knees again and rock from side to side like you would coming out of Shavasana. Just giving a little love to the back and kidneys. All right, when you're ready for setting up for Shavasana, you can grab whatever props you want to utilize. You can set up in any pose of your liking, or you can spread out again, like we did at the very start of class and start. Let's hit. I'm going to dim the overhead lights while we set up. Let your body take rest. Allow your mind to stay focused. And give your mind something to focus on. Maybe it's outer listening, hearing music. Maybe that outer listening takes you towards a deep inner listening. Perhaps you want a vision. Maybe envision the person or thing in which you align with, where your loyalty lies. Maybe it's just witnessing the breath ebb and flow. And if your mind is noisy, busy, maybe it's feeding it a positive affirmation, such as I am calm and serene. loyal to the technique you chose, even with distraction. Deep in the flow of our breath. We can go whatever technique we're using for our mental focus. Once you enliven the breath, you can open up some movement in your hands and feet. Perhaps even curling back in, swaying from side to side. Eventually turning to one side to come up for a formal seat. Tall and attentive. Joining your hands together to this mudra that can seal our practice. I'm grateful you all showed up today. And I hope you continue to keep up this practice. You keep up the practice, you will continue to be rewarded. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste.